Howdy, welcome to the latest episode of Sorcery and Shenanigans. I'm your DM Wayne, and we're going to meet the rest of the team now shortly. But first, I'm going to launch into a bit of housekeeping. Our returning sponsors, once again, for this month's episode, Dublin City Comics, our ongoing sponsors. Fantastic sponsors, really, really great people, and have sponsored us from day one, and continue to do so into the near future, for forever and ever, as far as I'm aware. But we have a great giveaway, an announcement, the winner of the giveaway from last month's episode. We also have a brand new giveaway for a copy of this, The Mighty Nine Origins for Gestal of Horror from the Critical Role comic book series. A hardback graphic novel written by Sam Maggs, Laura Bailey, Matthew Mercer, with art and colours and letters from a rake of people: Hunter, Severin, Bunyan, Kathy Lee, and Ariana Mayer, or Mar, depending on what part of the world you're from. But this is our giveaway for this month. But we will be announcing the winner of the copy of the unbelievably beautiful Rat Queens Volume 1 hardback graphic novel. That will be going out to somebody from our list of entries just after the break. So check out Dublin City Comics at dublincitycomics.ie, and check out their online store. Even go in and visit them. They're brilliant folks, and they've always got some cool stuff in the store. They've also got some great stuff online. They've actually recently got some amazing back issues in that I have managed to grab a load of. Just really, really cool stuff. So go check them out at dublincitycomics.ie. Our second sponsor, our returning sponsor, is Dakota Irish. These fantastic folks at Dakota Irish, a brilliant Irish-owned company who do make a plethora of TTRPG themed products, from dice to dice trays, dice towers. They've got official D&D merchandise. They're now doing t-shirts. They've got so many cool things up there. They've got stuff to aid you in your game, so they've got like spell books and binders for classes, all these different cool things up there. But they're very kindly giving us a discount code for their website, dakotairish.com. This episode's discount code is valid from when this episode goes up until July the 1st. So you can use the discount code beerholder to get yourself a nice discount at checkout on their website. So do go check them out. Fantastic sponsors. Thank you to both of our sponsors. Without further ado, we're going to jump straight into it. Here's the rest of the team.
How are you? Hello.
Hi. So, folks, welcome back to Sorcery and Shenanigans. We're going to jump straight into this with a recap of the last episode. You had followed Captain Mingna to an acquaintance of hers, a wizard called Von Breck Bulbrook, to inquire about these growing arcane symbols that are all over Mingna's body and also now Zilzara's. And Von Breck had sent you on a bit of a little fetch quest to get these arcane, what look like basically goggles, to help decipher and decode these arcane tattoos. He sent you to the Shard of the Night, which is a floating tower above the city of Neverwinter, that only recently, in the last couple of years, has been reclaimed as the Temple of Saloon, the goddess of the moon. You made your way inside and found that it was pretty much enveloped in darkness, inky black darkness that you could barely see through or move through. Upon searching through a couple of corridors, unearthing some arcane runes and following your nose investigatorily wise, you come across a bunch of crates that seem to be part of an excavation. But you found nobody else there. No bodies. There's nobody representing whoever's doing this excavation. It's just empty, eerily empty. And upon discovering the actual arcane artifact you're looking for, a clump of darkness, a shadow if you will, detaches itself and floats towards the group. a wraith-like creature emerging from it, reaching out towards you. As you all kind of freeze in fear, that's what we're going to pick up. So, the four of you are now standing in this kind of chamber. The wraith is blocking your exit between where you came into this chamber, and you're kind of all standing dotted around. Zilzara and Migna are the closest to it. Lopan and Grey are kind of back towards the back part of the chamber after going through the crates. This wraith is slowly but surely moving forward. Zilzara, you're the closest to it. Can you give me a perception check, please?
I can. Fancy Dakota Irish done.
Nice.
Oh, that. God, I'm blind. That is a 19.
Funny you should use that phrase, because even with that roll, as you're slowly backing away from this creature that seems to be moving in the general direction towards you, you notice that its skeletal, translucent face, as you look up into it, it's human in nature, and it seems to be wearing some sort of kind of ghostly armor, but its eyes are milky white, and it doesn't seem to be looking directly at you. It seems to be just kind of reaching out, kind of feeling the air around it. As it slowly floats towards you, and then a dog barks in the distance.
Ghost dog! Oh no!
He's like, good boy.
Ghost dog way the samurai.
Yeah, he's a good boy. So
Samurai ghost dog, bollocks.
this creature seems to be floating inwards into the chamber, but not directly at you.
So,
that's a change of mood. I allowed myself to resume the very worst the last time, so I presumed it was setting upon us with a view to Moida.
we just assume everything's out to murder us, like.
Yeah. I realized, like, when we played before, that most things are out to murder. I was trying to negotiate with everybody for months, and you're like, no, just whack it. Just whack it.
Whack it.
So, now I think this is some creature that needs to be spared. So it's moving really slowly.
Yeah, no, not toward, like, it's moving slowly. Its arms are outstretched, and it's moving like, if it keeps going in the direction it will. Like, if Zilzara stays where she is, it'll eventually kind of be on her and be there. But it's kind of not moving directly at her. It doesn't seem to actually notice her. It seems to be feeling out the air in front of it.
Okay. This thing looks like it's blind based on the milkiness of its eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to Migna. Have you seen anything like this before?
Are you whispering this to her?
Yeah.
Migna is kind of like, I've seen spectral figures, but this seems to be of some form of warrior. It's hard to tell. It's a ghost, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of nasty ghost, though.
Myself and Lopan are how far back?
You're about 20 to 30 feet away from it at the back of the room where the crates are. Because remember, there's an altar section as well that's kind of raised on a platform, and you're kind of off to the back of that. And then Lopan's in front of you, inspecting that telescope after turning around and kind of shining the light.
If Zil has more to do, I'm going to cut back to her, and if not, I'm going to talk to Lopan.
Well, I'm going to whisper, like, if it doesn't know you're there, maybe we can just walk around it and leave, you know? Like all the lads in the pub say, like, these normally things go boo and then attack. So, like, I think we're okay until it does that. So maybe we should, like...
As Lopan is whispering towards you, Zil, the creature seems to turn and reach just kind of like past you. And as it does that, its chest cavity kind of cracks, and you see it open. And these large spectral tentacles
Oh, lovely.
flick out and start flicking out and tasting the air. Now, if you're about 10 feet within this, I need you to make a dexterity save.
Me?
See if you're moving out of the way. If you are moving out of the way.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Ah! My D&D Beyond has gone a little bit funky. I'm just gonna roll because I can't remember. It's not showing me what my dex is.
Your dex is. Well, it's you can do an acrobatics or an athletics one on this one. You have +1 to your acrobatics.
Okay, so that I rolled a 15, so 16.
16, that's okay. You manage to just quietly push yourself to the side as these tentacles, like they're like twitching really fast. There's like a clump of them as they just all seem to kind of erupt from the chest cavity of this spectral creature as it feels out in front of you, and then you manage to just move out of the way as they seem to be like tasting the air around, as it seems to be getting dragged along by these tentacles from its chest. Its arms dropping down by its side, his mouth lolling backwards.
I use a cantrip and actually cause some damage.
If you want, yeah.
Before it gets near my friends.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to cast Frostbite.
Yeah.
So it needs a Constitution saving throw of 13.
13. That is a natural 19 plus 3.
Boo.
So, does it take any damage at all?
On a fail save, the target take 1d6 cold damage, and it has a disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Okay, grand so.
So 1d6.
Did tentacles count as a weapon there?
They do.
Hang on, I just rolled this.
Now, Wayne, I know it's not your fault, and I know you didn't create the monsters, but I do blame you for every Cronenbergian thing that happens, and that's probably unfair.
You did create this monster.
This is a homebrew monster. I created this monster.
Well, then I am endorsed, and I'm correct. Okay, all right.
So, Jill, you kind of reach out, and the cold the blast kind of careens kind of off the side of this creature as it seems to pass through it. And you can see the ice shards form up around its spectral form and then dissipate into the air as it just... and the tentacles swing around towards you. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Roll Caltrop. See what I get. All right, that's good.
Oh, wow. Where's my piano? There it is. So, 25 to 20. 20 to 15. That's Mingna got that for sure. 15 to 10?
11.
I was 19, Wayne. Sorry.
You were 90, yeah. So
yeah, I think did my sound go out?
It must have, yeah. So
yeah,
great. Does somebody have a chat window or something open with beeping?
Oh yeah, what's that beeping? Yeah, let me see now.
Right, then Lopan. 10, 5?
5.
5. The creature just goes before you.
Great.
Okay, so the creature kind of Mingna sees this and it basically kind of pushes herself forward and is going to take 2 swipes of her rapier towards the creature as it kind of seems to swing out towards Zilzara. So the first one is 23. That is definitely going to hit. Oh my god. And does 9 points of damage. So you see her kind of swing her blade through this creature and kind of catching the front tentacles as it gets into it. So as the creature, the tentacles some of them kind of slice off the tips of them, and they kind of just fade into ectoplasm and slough to the floor. She's going to take her second attack because she's got 2 attacks. Again with the rapier. And that misses, unfortunately. 12. She swings back up, and the creature just seems to kind of shift. Its spectral form kind of just turning to smoke momentarily as the blade just slices through it into nothingness. And she goes like, and snarls her teeth and kind of just stands there in front of it. And Zilzara, you're kind of off to her right-hand side. It's now into grey.
Hey, I suppose I better do something. I wonder, because people have been able to physically hit it, I think that...
Lopan, you're on deck.
I think that's... I might try a spell. I'm going to try Dissonant Whispers at first level.
Okay.
Dissonant Whispers. So, what Dissonant Whispers does is you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Okay. So
the creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away.
I rolled a natural 2.
Okay, let's roll for Damar. 10.
10 points of damage. So what does it have to do now? It
now has to move as far away from me to a safe place in accordance to its speed.
Into accordance with speed. 60 feet. You say it has to use its reaction?
Yes.
It's going to use its reaction. To use its reaction. What's it going to do? Okay, its reaction is basically this. You see it kind of reach up in the air, its tentacles writhing, its chest cracking open even further. See a red glow in the center of its chest, and this red mist seems to just emanate out from it. I need both Zilzara and Mingna to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Well, the 15. Yeah.
I rolled a 5 plus 1.
So 6. You take 5 points of poison damage.
Oh no.
As this red mist kind of you inhale and you find yourself coughing, you feel blood in your mouth, and you are poisoned.
Dickhead.
Yeah. So you are poisoned.
Your poison's running through my veins.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you just gotta.
Yeah, and the so. Okay. Yeah. Right. So Mingna doesn't take any damage. She manages to kind of hold her breath as the red mist emanates around her, and it moves. So it's already 30 feet away from you. It moves another 30 feet away from you. It has to move its full distance. Is that right, Gray?
Yep.
Yeah. So it moves another 30 feet. Both Zilzara and Mingna are going to get a reaction against it. If you want, you can have an attack of opportunity. It moves 30 feet away from you, back towards the entrance.
Sorry, I can, or
both you and Mingna have a thing.
Mingna's rolling very well, I have to say.
Yeah, she is. I'm going to cast magic missile at third level.
Third level.
Cause fuck that ghoulie fucker. Oh, poison me, will you?
You're just repeating what people say when you walk down the street.
So what's it? How many darts is that at 3rd level?
So at 3rd level, it is 4 darts.
They automatically hit because it's a magic missile. So just roll damage on that one.
Oh, Jesus.
Migna's going to take a swipe at the 25. That's going to hit and hits it for 4 points of damage. Like, and where she tried to hit the last time, the tentacles take another cut, and there's still lots of them there. They're like, it looks like basically spaghetti bursting out of its chest.
It was a total of 10 damage from the
10
4
damage.
darts.
Lovely.
Yeah.
These darts just like careen into it at close range, and it just blasts backwards like, and you hear this gargled kind of wail as it kind of pushes itself back another 30 feet. It's now kind of in the doorway, and the tentacles are writhing around it, and you can see the red glow that was in its chest is starting to spread throughout its spectral body, and its eyes that were white are now glowing bright red as it looks angered, and it just the teeth, the spectral teeth that are gnashing as these tentacles are twitching out in front of it, and it's raising its hands up. It looks like it's ready it's about to strike.
Can I move? As I finish my go, can I move?
Well, that was a reaction. You did that wasn't your go.
Oh, sorry.
That was Gray's go. It's now Lopan's go.
If Lopan was, not already scared and not like trying to hide it, he is now. His little feet are like, one of them's just like, nervously shaking as he's like watching what's going on, and he's just like,
picture that.
He's just like, no, no, time for this little bunny rabbit to dig a hole and hide, and I'm gonna pretty much what you see is me hopping onto the altar and then hopping behind the altar as if I'm running away in fear. But what I'm really doing is getting behind and using my bonus action to get a hide, and I'm waiting for when the creature gets closer so I can fire my crossbow and hopefully get a sneak attack on it.
Okay.
I know he's 60 feet, so he's probably out of range this round, but just in case it does another weird ghostly thing. But yeah, that's what Lopan's going to do.
The range on your crossbow is 120 feet.
The light crossbow? I thought, yeah, but is that not, am I not at disadvantage on that?
Yes, you are.
All right. Well, then, if it's okay with you, can I hop down then? And then if I manage to hide behind the altar, I'll just have a normal roll. Would that be all right? Or
so, hide.
I'm doing a hide as a bonus action behind the altar.
Sure.
Being all teethy and like.
Yeah, just a straight roll if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll negate the negative if it's okay with yourself. Yeah. So just one crossbow. Use my crow chops again. That's 14. Roll the 7.
14 hits.
All right. Yeah, I don't get my sneak attacks. It's just a normal roll, so it's just. I'll use D&D Beyond to be nice. I give it stick, but it might do me right. There we go. It did. It got me 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as I, come out, go, I'm back in.
Yeah, you just see the bolt, and it just sails through the center of it, and you see it kind of catch on some of the tentacles and the red mist that's now emanating from the central section of this right, and it kind of seems to just push it through and then out the other side, and the bolt vanishes off into the darkness. But it kind of you see it recoil from the hit, and it does take damage. It's now the Wraith's turn. The Wraith is going to move its full 60 feet right up to Zilzara. The tentacles are just going to wrap themselves around you.
No!
And it's going to squeeze. I need you to make a strength saving throw. To see if you can...
Come on, Zil. Come on, Zil.
You can do it.
You can do it.
I rolled, so it's 11 minus 1, 10.
That's a fail, I'm afraid. The tentacles you feel them wrap around your body, pinning your arms to your side. You're unable to break free, and it seems to pull you into itself as you're now kind of in the Wraith's form, and you can feel the red. You see the kind of red color just around your face, and that's all you can see. As your kind of face is pulled inwards, you feel cold and damp, and you can feel it starting to drag you away. Now, it doesn't have any more movement, but you can kind of feel that it's starting to motion itself away. And it's at that point it's going to do its second attack. It basically reels back as it has you pulled in towards it. Its head goes back and it just screams this ear-piercing, shrill shriek that fills the room. And every creature in 60 feet needs to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
God, okay.
Wisdom is
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
4.
12.
Okay. Gray, you're fine. Mingna is fine. Zil, you're fine. Lopan, you are stunned and you missed your next go. You're stunned for one
I'm
round.
fine. I'm still enveloped.
You're still enveloped, but
fucking yoke.
On the next turn, you still get your turn. It doesn't skip you. So Lopan, it skips you. You're basically your ears. You couldn't cover your ears in time, even behind the altar, and you just hear this high pitched wail hit you, and you're just like, whoa. As it, and you just basically are fully stunned for one round. It dissipates. It goes away after one round, but you're stunned for one round. You lose. That is the end of the rates go. It's now Zilzara. Zilzara, you are grappled. The only thing you can do at this point, if you want, is to roll another strength saving throw to see if you can break free.
Okay, because
although you have your spellcasting, you don't need to say words. Isn't that correct? Okay. So you have options, but you can also, at the end of your go, you can make another strength saving throw to see if you can break free from this. What do you want?
Okay, I would like to try a spell first and then see if I can break free.
Sure.
So I'd like to try and cast Ice Knife at 2nd level.
Okay. Now you're casting this into your hand. Is that correct?
Yeah. So what I'm gonna cast. I want to see how much movement I have as well, because obviously it's squeezing me, so my hand is down by my side. I presume I form a big ass fucking ice knife. Yeah. But if I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, because I'm gripped so tightly and it's a magical weapon, do I even need to like throw it? Well, normally you're supposed to throw it. So create a shard of ice and fling it at one creature within range.
You can. So you're basically, it's hard to swing your hand. I think you can make an attack, but it's at disadvantage.
Okay, well, hang on.
Given the current circumstances with the way it is, I'm trying to figure out the exact. One time I leave my DM screen upstairs.
Let me just see if there's one. Yeah, everything I have is like throwing things.
Yeah.
My other yokes are like frostbite or chill touch.
You can actually attack. You can actually attack. Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, let's try this ice knife business.
Okay. So you cast this. So you're casting it.
Nah, balls.
What did you get?
I only rolled a 9.
Okay, that definitely doesn't hit. You cast the ice knife. Do you have to throw it at the same time you cast it? It's kind of like it's like Moonlight random bullshit go type situation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that works. The ice knife casts, but it just impacts on the ground below as you're pulled up, and kind of like as the rate seems to lift you off the ground. You can now give me a contesting strength roll if you want to see if you break free of the grapple.
Yeah, that was also a 9.
No, you are still grappled. You feel the tentacles tightening around you as you're enveloped by this spectre's form, and you can just you feel the coldness, and it just feels horrible.
This is some bullshit.
It's the
do it a little assist here.
That's the end of your go. Mingna is like, I'm coming, and she kind of pulls out a dagger with the rapier and kind of lunges forward, and then swings down, being careful not to swing at you, more at the sides of the rapier. That is, yeah, that'll hit. So that is a little bit, 7 points of damage. The creature is starting to look hurt. It is starting to look hurt. Second attack. She cuts with the rapier down, and then she stabs outwards with the dagger. For a 18, that also hits, and hits for
Nice.
7 points of damage. Yeah, it's holding on, but it still managed to keep you in the grapple. It doesn't do enough damage to kind of knock the grapple off, and you can feel it tightening around you, and the air is starting to get squeezed out of your lungs. Ming-Na kind of curses to herself. She's done damage to it. The creature is starting to lose its form, and the red kind of coloration seems to be turning to a more of a dark pinkish hue. That is the end of Ming-Na's go. Gray, it is into yourself.
Yeah, let's do this. Right. I pull both daggers and run up snickety snick. I am fast. I am slicey.
Hack-like almost.
I took my slice, cut up a tree. Right. I'm going over to pound my banana. No, I am going over to try and loose the tentacles. So I'm gonna do a kitty pounce, kitty slice, kitty upward. I think there's probably a performance element involved because that seems very dramatic. But I am trying to snicked.
Give me an attack there, or whatever that schnicked is. Just roll a dice for the attack. Whatever the stats are on your schnicked.
So I've got 2 daggers. Will I roll twice?
Do you have the ability to be able to attack twice?
I think I did that to myself.
You've got one attack. So
one attack. All right, let's do this. Okay, I'm just gonna move one fastly.
Cool.
18, 18, yeah, so good. So I'm gonna carve up a squid in eye.
You can actually. You've got 2 weapon fighting, so you can use your bonus action to.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So I'm gonna do the other one. Yeah.
What was the first? What was the first one?
18 and then 10.
18 hits. Give me the damage on that one.
Okay. 5.
5 points of damage.
5.
Yeah, you slash into the side of the creature, and some of the tentacles just clump off and then fall into dust.
Yeah, it'd be better.
But it's hanging in there, and it still has a grip on Zilzara.
Still has Zil.
Still has her.
I definitely have bonus actions. Let's make use of them.
You just used the bonus action for your second attack.
For a 2 weapon fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
And you use your movement as well, so much else you can do right now.
This is not a stabbing, it's a movement. Okay, I am going to I'm going to be annoyed, but I'm gonna have to let everything go on. Hang in there, Zil, we'll get ya.
The creature again is going to let out a blood-curdling wail.
Don't call her that.
As it screams, as you all try to kind of you reel back from it. I need everyone to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no!
Oh boo! What the fuck is that?
Oh no, Zil, what's going on?
I'm gonna have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure I rolled not a natural one, but a 1.
Dirty 20, the dirtiest.
Gray, you managed to cover your ears as you see the wraith reel back, and you expect.
Yeah, sorry, it was a 3.
3. Zil, you are enveloped in the creature, and the sound just emanates through it as you feel this blood-curdling screech pierce your eardrums, and you miss a turn. And Ming-Na also misses a turn. D-Man, what did you get?
You got 11.
11.
I should have really tried Misty Step by now, shouldn't I?
You got 11. D-Man, that's another stun, so you miss your turn again.
It's the ears, man. I need my best.
You're super sensitive.
You're like super sensitive. Like it's like, oh no, me bleeding head.
So it's going to now move and try and pull itself away. Ray, you do get a reaction against it as it moves out of your combat range.
Okay.
As it moves tries to now pull Zilzara towards the darkness. Lopan, as you're standing crouched down behind it, give me a perception check, please.
1 second, good sir. That is... Sorry, that is 13.
13. You are stunned. You do miss a go, but you did notice while you were trying to clasp your hands over your ears, you noticed another clump of darkness about 10 feet on the far corner, at the back end of the room, has detached itself from the shadow and is starting to slowly make its way toward.
But I can't say anything because of the pain, right?
Yeah, you're basically stunned. You can't do it, but you've noticed this. You've seen this yourself,
Cool.
and you're missing your next go. So Gray, you get a reaction against the wraith.
Okay. I'm gonna try and dagger him up again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try and slice down the tentacles to free Zill. That's a 16, baby.
Definitely hits.
Okay, I'm going to roll damage, and that's 7.
That's 7. The creature
On a D4. That's pretty good.
You slice up with the blade, putting through the tentacles, the last tentacles that were holding Zilzara in place. And as your blade comes up through it, you seem to tear through this creature. Its form just completely obliterating in the space in front of it as it just and just disappear. You see just clumps of it just disappear into the darkness as Zilzara drops to the ground, coughing. Finally been able to get her air back into her lungs. Still stunned, still missing a go. That wraith is now completely dispatched and gone. Gray, you land. You're looking around. You see Migna is on the ground, clasping her ears. Zilzara is the same. You can't see Lopan because he's tucked behind the altar. And as you drop, I need you to give me a perception check.
Okay. Oops, 15.
15. You turn, looking to see where Lopan is, and you just spot a large clump of darkness, like an Acme manhole that Wile E. Coyote has thrown on the ground, and just starting to ascend from it another one of these wraith creatures.
No. So I perceive that.
Roll its initiative, roll garbage, and it's gonna drop in after Zilzara. Okay, roll the fucking tree on initiative. Okay, so we're still in the initiative roll. Skips Migna, goes back to you, Gray. It's back to yourself. You see all your compatriots are kind of clutching their ears. Lopan, you have missed you're on deck, but you missed your next go. So after that, then it's Zilzara. So Gray, it's you. What you want to do?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying it's Zilzara. It's you.
No, it's
okay.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Very good. Right. So I'm kind of worried that there's going to be an endless supply of these. I'm keen to get out of here, but in the meantime, is it at the red eyes stage already, Wayne?
You literally just see the top of his head starting to just peek up out of this black hole.
I'm gonna turn to the squad. Hey guys, I think we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, you're right.
Is there anywhere else that Hanna-Barbera has extra animated so it looks like we can leave?
I would. Point in fact, Wile E. Coyote was a member of the Warner Brothers cartoon family, not Hanna-Barbera.
Right, so
don't you bring that shit up here in my house.
I won't. So if you we were in this room and we were looking around, there was literally nothing in this room. It was like the air conditioning room in Community, wasn't it? There was just like, yeah. It was the perfect nothing.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Like there was the altar in the center with a few crates off to one side. That was it.
But we had been sent up to get the thing and the goggles, and we. Is there a way out of here that isn't the way we came in?
Give me a quick perception check, real quick, because this thing is starting to.
It is. Oh, that's a 17. I don't want to curse myself entirely, but I'm
17. You're looking around. You don't see anything right now. You do have dark vision up to 60 feet, and you're kind of squinting into the darkness behind the altar. You just see the wall that seems to come up in a domed ceiling, about another 50 feet up. But then the only other entrance that there's a tiny bit of light coming from is behind you.
Is where we came in. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got to take him down too, because presumably this Scooby-Doo painted door is the way to the next place where they're coming out. The manhole. Oh, Kim, stop. Leave him alone. Okay. Right. We got to take him down. The other one went down. We got to take this one down too. So I am going to use Summit. Let's see what we're going to use. I am going to use... I'm going to use Dissonant Whispers again.
Sure.
I'm going to cast it at 2nd level. And yeah, let me get rid of that. So it's a Wisdom saving throw, yeah.
He fails, it fails at a natural...
Okay, so I have to whisper discordant melodies. Oh, okay.
So I rolled
okay,
12,
and he has to get
13,
yeah. All right, so I just go, look at this photograph. And then he goes probably back the way he came, right? Because he's not up through the thing. He can't come up. Yeah, well.
Okay, what I'm going to get you to do here is I'm going to get you to roll a d6 for me.
Okay. Sorry, I should have been more ready for this. I'm going to roll a d6. 2.
You cast Dissonant Whispers. Roll your damage for Dissonant Whispers for me.
Okay. Oh, 15.
15. Woof. You cast your you get his nickel back up basically on this one because I believe he said that fucking song. And you just see like it's clambering up out of this hole. It looks slightly different than the last one. The armor different, and it actually, you notice as it's coming up, it has pointed ears and it has elven-esque skeletal features. And it doesn't look as decrepit, and the eyes aren't as milky, as it's kind of like, oh! And it gets blasted with this kind of thing, psychic energy, into its mind, and it kind of it crawls back, and you see that twisted backwards recording Sadako from the Ring kind of as it kind of jitters back into the darkness, and you just see two hands stretched out as it moves. It kind of seems to shift into the shadow, but the arms are still left outwards, kind of reaching out towards your general direction, as it's kind of caught there for a second, jittering after taking that damage. But it's still seemingly on this plane right now. But it has been knocked back into the shadows at the far end of the wall.
Okay.
Far end of the room.
All right, I'll take that.
So, do you want to move anywhere? Is that the end of your go fully?
I will. Am I still? Well, I went up to get the last guy, so I presume I'm near Zill and everything.
You're right next to Zill now, and Ming Na, who's picking. They're both picking themselves up off the ground. You can't see Lopan. You've no idea where.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, I'll just ready myself for the next round.
Okay. Zilzara, it's into you.
Guys, I think we need to get the fuck out of here. I think we should head towards the exit. And I'm gonna hit this guy with a couple more blasts and make sure he's gone. So I'm gonna cast Magic Missile at 2nd level.
Right.
So there are 4 dots.
There are 4 dots.
Yes. 1d4 plus 1 for every dart. And 4. 16.
16 points. Oof. Okay. Okay. You see the missiles streak out and they just disappear into the shadow, and you just hear these distant impact and explosion sounds, and as the creature's like his head starts to emerge from up the wall now, as it's kind of pushing itself out, and the blast impact, and you can see chunks of it are getting blown away, and this arcane energy is just crackling around where its form used to be, and it's like snarling towards you. You see this emaciated elven form with kind of it's just angered features, pure translucent white skin. Is there anything else you want to do, Zilzar?
I would like to use my bonus action to Misty Step away.
Yeah, are you going Misty Stepping out of the room?
Bang, bang, out of the room.
Oh my God.
Well, how far does that take me away from the rest of the party, though?
Pretty far, actually. Misty Step can go up to, let me see now, 30 feet. So you can get out into the next room.
Well, yeah. So, guys, bye. Bump.
Very Zill.
Yeah.
The rest of you watch as like you just see this kind of like Nightcrawler-esque purple smoke and bamf, and Zilzara appears. You can just see her inside the other room on the far side of the door where all the weaponry was that you saw on the ground, and the armor and stuff that at the bottom of the staircase that led down here. And she's kind
Come on, guys, shake a leg.
That is the end of the Zilzara's go. It's now the Wraith's go. The Wraith is pulling itself out. It's now up to its waist out of this thing and pushes out then fully. It's full 60 feet, moving up into the center of the room. It's going to give it a perception check. It does not see Lopan cowering behind the altar, because I rolled a 2 on perception. As it kind of pushes itself up into the room, and just as it does that, its chest cracks open, and again the tentacles flash out. They're going to try and grab you, Gray.
Wayne, are you okay? You can tell us. There's so many chest vaginas in your repertoire. It's
I never once said vagina, and in fact, there's more tentacles than there is anything else. So,
well, I mean, I have
crevices with tentacles poking out.
I watched Legend of the Overfiend a lot when I was a kid. It left its mark. It left its mark. Oh no, Jocko of the Jujin Kai. Gray, can you give me a strength check, please?
Oh no!
That's
not my specialty. Let's see what happens. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's an 8.
8. Tentacles wrap themselves around you, and you feel yourself lifted off the ground as this creature envelops itself around you, and you just feel the coldness just wrap itself around your body. It's like being plunged into icy water as the Wraith just goes like, and you're lifted up off the ground. And you see Zilzara, you see this Ming-Na is kind of getting up and it's like, oh shit. As Gray is just reefed off the ground by these tentacles and pulled in towards this Wraith creature.
Sorry, Wayne, I'm just going to put this in my notes. So you're saying we can be lifted from the shadows? Is that right?
Get those filthy God-bothering lyrics out your mouth.
Yeah, you can get me out of here. You can cut my mic if you want. Yeah. All right. So I am now in mild peril. Okay.
Okay. That is the end of the Wraith's go. It's now Ming-Na's go. Ming-Na seeing this again is like, whew, takes the rapier, 2 slashes in towards the Wraith. That first one misses. Second one, oh Jesus love. Did you hit with that one? Yes, she does. It's 14. So Ming-Na, she's gonna give it now 9 points of damage into this creature. As she slashes up, and you see a chunk of the tentacles just and flick off into the air. That is the end of Ming-Na's go. Gray, it's your go. You are grappled.
Yes.
You can still speak. You can still try and cast a spell, and you can still attack if needs be. But you are grappled, and you can give me a strength, a contested strength save at the end of your go as well to see if you get free.
At the end of my go. Okay, very good. I am now. If I try to get him, if I use Dissonant Whispers again, there's a chance he'll take off with me still wrapped. So I don't want that.
Yeah. It's gonna be difficult getting 60 feet away from you when it's like.
Yeah, holding me.
Yeah.
I was so clever. I thought I was so clever with my choices of spells, and looking at it now, I'm not ready.
Dissonant Whispers is a cracking spell.
It is. It's amazing. It's amazing. But I thought I was clever with my choices, but looking at it, it's like I did not anticipate this. You just know I didn't. Okay. I am going to try and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay. Waiting for this. I saw it in your spell list and I was like,
yes. She had to whip it out, didn't she? Okay, so I'm gonna try and
saving throw. Now this
cast it.
This is concentration.
Let me see.
Yeah.
I might cast it at second. Sorry, Wayne.
It saves. It rolled a natural 17.
Oh shit.
But creature choice can see what a range perceives. Everything is hilariously funny. At the end of each turn, it can take its time it takes damage. The target make another wisdom saving throw. It saved first time round. It got a 17.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately. So you tried to cast it, but the tentacles wrap around you. And the words barely escape out of your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it could barely reach me tiny tarts.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do?
I want to just yell to the squad encouraging words. Hey guys, you can do it. I'm okay. I say unconvincingly.
So a creature. So are you giving bardic inspiration to somebody?
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Well, that's it. Could be bardic inspiration. So they get an inspiration die of 1d8. Reaching out to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna cast bardic inspiration.
Cool. And who are you giving that to?
I am going to give it to. Well, poor Lopan is still fucked, isn't he? So
He's
I'm
coming
gonna
up. He's coming up next.
Okay, all right. Lopan.
You just see the ears pop up from behind the altar, and it's like, there he is.
Yeah, he just hears me going, tales of songs and stories.
Oh Jesus!
Heroes of renown.
That's one of Tomo's favorites.
Yeah, it's one of Tomo's favorites. Tomo always tears up when he hears it.
He loves that song in the pub, like he's always singing it,
The banger, like
it is banger tune.
Okay, so you have 1d8 bardic inspiration for yourself there, Lopan, and it is now your go.
Right, so Lopan's been 2 rounds now. His ears have been hurting him, and he's just like, no, come on, remember what Tomo says. And they say that a hero can save us, and I'm not going to stand here and wait. And Lopan, with that inspiration, jumps onto the table and shoots with the crossbow twice at the creature. Hoping. So the first one is AC 13.
That just hits.
So give me 1 second, good sir. Do I not have one more dice? No, I don't. We roll these. So that is that's 15.
15 points of damage. That's just the first. Is that just one hit?
Well, that's with my sneak attack. That
Oh yeah.
But it won't be as good the next one.
So the bolt slicks out. It basically just pierces through and up through the head and just pops at the top, and you just see the part of it that was already blasted away by the magic missile. Another part of it just slops off and just kind of flakes into nothingness as it kind of careens sideways as most of its head is gone as it's trying to hold on to Grey. It's still alive, but just barely.
I'll use a bonus action.
Alive as a dead thing can be, I suppose. Yeah, bonus action.
To fire the crossbow again.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Nice one. That is more. That's 23.
That definitely hits.
And that is 6. That is 10 points of damage.
Yeah, no, that's it. How do you want to take it down?
Oh, nice. I just as I pull the trigger, I go, you know, man, where I'm from, we usually ask before we lock face with someone, you know, and I just pull the trigger. Yeah, just tilt it, doesn't mean business, and bam.
Bruce Willis style, boom. You just Gray, you're just basically grappling. You just see above it, you see the Wraith's face as it just explodes outwards as the bolt pierces through it, and then disappears into the dark shadow at the far wall. And the Wraith just, and you just drop to the ground. Ectoplasm just kind of messing up your garb.
I'm gonna do a superhero landing and thank Lopan. Thanks, Lopan.
No worries. I think we better get the hell out of here before another one comes along and thinks it's a party or something.
I agree.
So yeah, Ming-Na picks herself up, and you see Zilzara standing kind of outside in the next chamber. I take it everyone's just booking it. You're getting out of there.
Oh,
yeah, full tilt.
We have the specs, don't we?
You do. You have them, and you have the spyglass as well.
Yeah, the entire Fellowship of the Ring is going to come up out of that Hanna-Barbera manhole cover.
You are all making your way out of it and up the stairs, and as you doing that, you see that again more kind of like clumps of darkness, now different shapes and sizes. As you're moving through these corridors, going full tilt. I take it you're going back to the teleportation circle you were at previously. You don't want to divert. You don't want to do anything before you do this, or anything the group want to do at this point besides just get the fuck.
Yeah, safety first. Oh well, I will, Wayne, because I've had my because I don't have dark vision. I know you were saying it wasn't doing much, but I had my little lamp with the hood on it, and I had it down low, so it wasn't really bright. But because of what's going on, and Lopan is like, you know, he's got the fears coming. He's gonna open up all the way, so it's as bright as it can be as we're running. Just maybe it might, you know, make less shadows and scare them or something. I don't know.
It's at this point, Lopan, when you're running, you like you just turn it up to full brightness, and it is bright, and you're running, and you're kind of like, oh, but you're noticing that this particular type of darkness is now moving. Like it's starting to shimmer. It's not, your light isn't piercing it, but clumps of it are starting to come off, and you see forms start to come up out of it behind you. They're not ahead of you, but they're all kind of the darkness behind you is starting to move, and you see about 20 of them, all different shapes and sizes, started to come up, and you like if you want, anyone can roll me a perception on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus, 8.
8, yeah.
3.
You just see these different forms, different races. You see dwarves, you see halflings, you see humans, elves. Some of them in ancient armors, some of them in work clothes. Some of them don't look as disheveled and rotten as some of the other ones do. So there's definitely different stages and different ages of these creatures, whatever they are. And the two of you that got an 8, you do see some of them seem to have like excavators outfits on, but that's pretty much all you can make out. And that's what, as you're booking it, you're legging it, and the light is not piercing that particular type. The darkness that they're coming from, the light is not piercing through it at all.
I just want to.
How far behind us are they?
It's slowly catching. I actually am. Before we get to the end of this, I'm going to get you to roll a survival check, all of you, to see if it starts to overtake you.
Because I'm wondering, can I divert a spell at them to slow them down as we're running away?
If you want, yeah. If you want.
I rolled 19 in survival.
Okay, Darren, you said you were going to do something.
Oh no, I'm just.
Sorry, Darren.
It's I'm gonna, as we're running, I'll fire the crossbow as we're going, like just kind of randomly, just kind of hope it might scare them. Kind of go, will you guys take the hint? We're not bloody interested, and like we're just, you know, legging it. As far
you
as
fire the crossbow, it just disappears into the dark. You don't see it.
Can I stop briefly and try and cast Sleet Storm?
Yeah, if you wish, yeah.
So until the spell ends, freezing rain and sleet fall in a 20-foot cylinder within a 40-foot radius centered on a point I choose within range. So I'm trying to cover as much of these beasties to kind of slow them down and get us away.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you cast Sleet Storm, so the rest of you see Zazara stop, and her arms go out, and she just gestures, and in this...
She has a big storm moment.
Yeah.
Nice.
Eyes go white.
And it's just this... And this 40-foot cone, the range is 150 feet, so you can cast it at the front group, and you can, if you want, or whatever way you want to cast it, but the 40-foot cone envelops this blot of darkness that these creatures are emanating from, and you just see them slow slightly, because they all have to make a dex save, and there's about 10 of them, so I'm just going to roll one roll for all of them. That is a 3. I'm rolling garbage tonight. A 3. So you see them all start to slow as they kind of, anything that hits it starts to slow down slightly, giving you a small window of time to kind of get it and move on.
What was it? On a failed save, it falls prone.
Yeah, they're all coming up out of the ground, so they're all just stuck in spot. Like they seem to be like freezing slightly as they move.
Super slow mo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn and book now that I've seen my spell has worked.
And you catch up with the rest of the group as you all turn a corner and hit the area where the teleportation circle was, and it's still slightly glowing from the time you use it, because you've only been here a couple of hours at most.
Yeah.
But you managed to find what you were looking for, and a bit more. So, what are the group doing at this point?
Getting the fuck out of here.
Getting out of Dodge.
You all step into the circle, and you hear a message in your head. It's like, right, I take it you're good to go. Hold on to yourselves. And you just feel that sucking sensation as the air is drawn from your lungs, and you feel like you're being pulled forward, and you land back in Von Breck's library area, or this teleportation circle area that he had. Kind of dust kicking up off the ground as you land in. And you take a second to gather yourself, and your eyes focus, and you can see Von Breck standing at the end of the room.
Zill gets a bit sick. Between the teleportation and having her guts squeezed to bejesus earlier, and exhausting some of her magical stores, she has a wee puke. Excuse me. But that could have been worse.
Lopan turns round and runs 30 feet, turns and points at the circle, and then looks at Von Breck and goes, "They can't come through that, can they?"
Lopan, it's at this moment that you notice that Von Breck is not alone.
Oh.
Standing next to Von Breck, you see a tall, thin male. He has a blade in one hand, and then around the room, you see another 10, 12 cloaked figures, all brandishing blades of some sort. Another cloaked figure standing just behind this male drow has a blade up to the young maid's throat, Von Breck's housemaid or whatever she is, and has a blade up to her throat. Von Breck is just standing there, apologetically, like, "They arrived after you left. I had no choice. There's so many of them." And he kind of looks around. Zilzara, you recognize the male figure.
What's this happy horse shit?
His character's name is Zarut, and he kind of gives you a curt nod. He is a member. He's one of the members you remember from the Bregan Dearth, the Drow exclusive-ish group of brigands, thieves, mercenaries, guns for hire from the city of Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
And this tall, slender, weaselly-looking male drow kind of like gives you a sly smirk. "You gave me a merry, merry hunt, all the way up to Never. City I swore I'd never come back to, and yet here I am, chasing after you. Bounty was too good to ignore, really. So,
Bounty from who? You Weasley motherfucker.
now, You know who. You pissed off every thieves guild you could back in Waterdeep. Xanatar, a massive bounty on your head. I couldn't but help to have a little bite. So, as you can see, you're a little outnumbered. So if you could kindly put down all weapons, disengage from any incantations you may be thinking about casting, and come join the rest of our crew outside. We have a nice wagon waiting to take you all the way back. Answer for the shenanigans that you've all been up to.
I'm going to look at the rest of the crew and kind of raise my brows as if to say, like, what do you want to do?
How many are there? There's a room full, right?
Well, there's the route, and there's what, another dozen?
There's another dozen of them. They all look like rogues, bandits. They all have blades.
Like, I reckon we could take them, but
Yeah, well,
I don't know, like, what's 3 divided by this many? Like, you know, I think we divide it into 3s.
Well, we do have Mingna as well, so it's 4 against 13.
Yeah.
That's true. Zill has got Misty Step. Myself and Lopan are fast as fuck, but you know, does Batman have time to strategize? There's a lot of them. I'm going to what's better than a bad stand? A good retreat. We might have to get tucking and get ourselves out later.
Like, I'm just gonna put it out, like, you know, I occasionally read the odd, like, you know, book on the Feywild, and there's a saying in the Feywild, you know, like, better dead than smeg. So, like, you know, say the word and go start shooting, you know.
I am going to ostentatiously take out one small dagger from my many things that I'm holding, but I'm going to put it down and kick it away from me and put my toe beans up.
So cute.
You've made a very wise choice. So, if you'd be so kind, and he kind of points the dagger towards the doorway, and the guy holding the maid kind of shifts to one side, and he gestures for y'all to start making your way out.
The route, let these people go and don't hurt them. We'll come quietly.
You can have me alive for your reward, or I can save her and then you've got a dead cat.
You don't seem to understand. You're in no position to be telling us what to do. And just to prove a point, and he snaps his fingers and the bandit just slices the girl's throat.
No, come on. Come on.
Von Breck at that point just kind of looks and goes, "You really shouldn't have done that."
Right, Gray is fucked off. His little happy cat face is more cat-like, I suppose. less human cat, more
actual cat. Actually, Tibbs is just woken up and he looks real pissed off. So that's how I imagine Gray to look right now.
Yeah, I've gone from keyboard cat to Tibbs in a second.
Tibbs, grumpy old man cat.
Yeah. So I don't like that. I'm bothered by that. It's supposed to be all in the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I do.
You just see the body just crumple to the floor and the blood starts to spill out, and it just like out onto the teleportation circle. And Von Breck, though, give me a perception check, all of you, actually.
Yeah.
All of us?
Yeah.
All of us.
As you're being marched out of the room, you pass by Von Brecht and
Also,
Von Brecht
they've come to us, have they?
well, no, they've gestured. You guys have started to move towards them, didn't you? You started to move towards them?
I'm still weighing up whether or not to shoot the leader in the head or not. Like after him doing that, I've just gone really quiet as I'm trying to work out should I or shouldn't I.
Okay. Yeah, if you start something, Lopan, you're gonna get us killed.
I know, that's why I'll eventually not go in.
What did you roll? If he's
Wayne, did you see what I rolled? See what I rolled?
No, it didn't snow.
I rolled a B.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's 24.
24.
15.
Yeah, 15. Lopan, are you rolling perception or are you just angry?
I got 11. Got 11 with her.
So, both Gray, you definitely see this, and Zilzara, you pick it up just after it. But Von Brecht doesn't seem phased by the fact that they've killed her. He just, when he says, "You're going to regret that," he didn't seem to be kind of. Gray, you definitely. He didn't seem to be saying like he was angry about it. He was more like warning them.
Right.
They are definitely going to regret doing what they did. But there's no anger or emotion on his face as he does this. He seems quite relaxed about this whole thing. But they are holding him just as much as they were holding that girl.
Lower my weapons. Put them on the ground. Put my paws up.
I'm going to give you a grateful look, Lopan.
I'm not looking up. I'm looking down at the ground as I do all this.
Okay.
Just yeah.
I just have that image of that classical cliche scene of Lopan just unloading his weapon after weapon after weapon after weapon after weapon after weapon, blade, crossbow, firearm, works. Now, so what are the group doing now at this point? Zarud is gesturing to the doorway. Crooked, just shit-eating smile on his face.
Yeah, we're being ushered out, right?
Yeah.
You're escorted down through the house, and as you're brought out front, there are people milling about. There's a large kind of like canvas-backed wagon there, and there's a couple of more of these bandit leather garb with hoods up and all with blades down. Kind of the blades are in their sheaths at this point, but their hands are on them, and they're kind of giving off like mercenary kind of vibes for sure. And a few people look up as you're escorted out and turfed up into the back of this wagon.
Is the captain still near?
The captain is with you.
The leader.
The
leader, sorry.
The route is there. He's come out and he's standing kind of in the doorway. He's standing in the doorway, kind of looking over all of this, surveying everything, and just kind of gesturing to the men to get up onto the wagon. And he's like, he's looking right at you as you're kind of hoisted up in.
As we're near him, I just look over in his direction and I just say, I have a name for people like you, and next time we meet, I'm gonna let you know what it is.
He's just like,
just get in and sit down.
He just laughs in your. As you're getting in, Gray or Lopan and Gray hear this. Still not so much. Just with your passive perception, you hear slightly audible from inside the house.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, I don't hear it.
You don't hear it, but Lopan and Gray hear that. It's muffled, and Zarut is out now and has climbed up into the front of the wagon, and the bandit beside him is like, and the horses start to clip-clop away as the four of you, Captain Ming now with you, and she's kind of looking at all three of you going, the fuck? But she's following your lead because she's with you in this, because,
yeah.
Is there any guards in with us, or is it just us four?
They're outside hanging on the back of the wagon.
Oh, they're at the back.
They're hanging outside the wagon on the edge of it, like standing there hanging on as the wagon is like moving along. And you start to move through the streets, and you hear them shouting, telling the people to get out of the way as the wagons are moving through. And you're going for about 10 minutes. And you hear one of the guards at the back is like, "Hey, you see that up there?" And the other one kind of like, "What? I didn't see anything." "Keep your eyes on the prize, will you? You're escorting these people. You have to look out for around you. We could get ambushed from anywhere." So that's what I'm talking about. Look up there. Did Did you not see something up on the roof? No, I didn't.
Look, Mummy, there's an aeroplane up in the sky.
And they're kind of mumbling to each other as they're doing this, like as the wagon is moving. And then suddenly, without any warning whatsoever, one of the guards, you just hear a scream as he's reefed off the back of the wagon. The other one, this is the one that would have seen something. The other one is like, what the? And he kind of brings out the blade and is looking around. You don't see anything. And then a split second later, he's gone as well. Upwards, up on top of the wagon, and then off. You hear then, on top of the canvas area, you hear a light thud. And then, as something feral, seems like an animal, is leaping along the top of the wagon area. Like on the roof of it. And you hear Zru going, what was that? And he draws his blade. That's what we're going to do. Okay. After the break, folks, we're going to announce the winner for the Rat Queens hardback. And then we're also going to ask you the question to win this copy of the Mighty Nine Jess de Lever Origins comic book hardback graphic novel. Really good book, actually. Really, really fun book. The Origins of Jess de Lever from the show Critical Role. So after our break, we're going to take a little quick break, and don't forget to check out our sponsors, Dempsey Comics, who gave us those brilliant prizes. So you can check them out at dempseycomics.ie and check out the discount code down here for Dakota Irish. The discount code is Beer Holder. You can get some fantastic TTRPG themed items on their website and use the discount code to get a nice discount off. So folks, we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second part of this episode of Sorcery and Shenanigans. We are going to dive straight into our giveaway. So, this is what we're announcing the winners for on this episode. So, real quick, Kim, roll me a d20.
17.
You're going to love this. Congratulations to Fred Fletch. You have won this copy of Rat Queens. I just counted them down on the list. Number 17, Mr. Fred Fletch. This copy of Rat Queens is going to be winging its way to you. I'm going to contact you on social media, Fred, to get your credentials, get your address.
Get those credentials.
So we can send
get them
in the post. Yeah.
We love you. We love you, Fred, so hard.
Wayne, there might be customs charges, so I might have to deliver it by hand.
Sure, okay.
I'm coming too.
Leaving that trailing sentence.
I'm going to Edinburgh.
Yeah. So, congratulations, Fred. Well done. Fred is a big supporter of the show, so we really appreciate it. And congratulations on the win. This month's giveaway is this copy of Critical Role, The Mighty Nine Origins of Jess de Lever, written by Sam Maggs, Laura Bailey, and Matthew Mercer, with some fantastic art and colours and all sorts. It's a really good book, actually. I have a copy of this as well, signed by Sam Maggs. So, really simple question for this one. Really, really easy. Who plays Jess de Lever in Critical Role? Jess de Lever. Who plays the character of Jess de Lever in Critical Role? You need to put your answer below in the comments. You need to share the video for the episode and tag Irish Pubcast. If you do not share the video and tag Irish Pubcast, you are not entered into the draw. There have been some people that have just been answering the questions and not sharing the video, and unfortunately you haven't been entered into the draws, and we want to be able to give you prizes, so
do all the things.
Yeah,
do all the things. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere on social media, just as long as you can tag Irish Pubcast, and just spread the word, and we can get this copy of this book to you. We will announce the winner for that on the next episode. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you, Dempsey Comics, for our great giveaway prizes. They continue to give us some fantastic stuff. And also check out Dakota Irish with the discount code Beer Holder that you can use at checkout to get some discounts on whatever purchases you make. Right.
Beauty is in the eye of the beer holder.
I've got my eyes on a treasure chest that they have, the official D&D merch.
Have you seen all the other cool shit they have though? Because I ordered something. I ordered a present for a friend of mine whose birthday is next month, and it's cool candle holder things. They have all sorts of funky stuff.
It's like they started off
for your house,
dice and trays and stuff like that. Yeah. But they've branched out into so many different things. So do go check them out. And the discount code is valid until July the 1st. So for the next 2 weeks or so, you can use that discount code to get yourself some nice shiny things. Now, without further ado, we're going to jump back into this session. Where we left off, you are in the back of the wagon. 2 of the guards at the back have been dispatched. And you can see and hear something crawling along the top of this wagon. Zarut at the front has pulled his blade out and is kind of peering up and looking back behind, counting to see who's in there. He's like, "Don't move." And he kind of hoists himself up and stands up at the front. The bandit or the mercenary who's driving the cart is like, "Yeah!" And hooshes it on and it picks up speed. You can see Zarut kind of hanging on as he's kind of holding his blade and looking up. And the 4 of you feel yourself jostled about in the back. You do notice as you look out the back of the wagon, you can see that there are more of these mercenaries trying to keep up on foot, and there's 2 on horseback as well at the back. And one of them is shouting at the front and pointing on top of the wagon. They're like, "They're up there! They're up there! Watch it! They're gonna come down!" And you kind of hear muffled kind of grunts as Zarut is kind of bringing his blade up. It seems to be deflecting attacks at the front.
Can we kick him off?
Well, what are the group doing? Yeah, what do you want to do at this point? You're
kick him off.
Like, you're not shackled? You're not in any way, like, you haven't been shackled. You've just been tossed into the back of this wagon.
Yeah, I think Lopan should kick him off.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try and I fully support Lopan in his endeavors. And
absolutely.
I'm going to, while he's doing that, I'm going to try and get a look at what's above us. But I might, if it's not a foolhardy thing to do, I might try and give him bardic inspiration.
Who do you give to Lopan?
To Lopan in his kicking off.
It's all kicking off.
It's all kicking off now.
Okay, so yeah, you give bardic inspiration. Do you want to say anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm gonna sing kick it off, kick it off, kick it off, kick it off. And then I'm gonna obviously bar myself from this game because I don't know why I'm like this. Anyway, yes. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna
Cool.
Sing Lopan a little song about him kicking your man off today.
You have your D8.
Without your man hearing it.
Yeah, you have your D8, and Lopan, I think you're moving up towards the front, and you can see you can see Zarut's legs up to his waist, and you can see he's holding on, and his blade is swinging up, but he's not really paying you much attention. And the bandit, the mercenary, still has his back to you, and he's kind of and he's hoofing on the horses as they're pulling this wagon. And it's starting to get a bit rough of a ride. It's bumping about the place. So, do you want to roll an attack? It's an unarmed strike. But you do have your D8 to add to the attack.
Sweet. So I will use it because I don't want to. So that's an 11 plus 2, which is 13, and then
your unarmed strike is plus 4.
Okay, so that is then maths 17.
That hits. So roll and give me damage on that. So it's actually it's 2. So you have just 2. You do 2 points of damage. I am going
to get my sneak attack because he's engaged with someone else.
You get your sneak attack on an unarmed strike.
It's more lucky foot, and I'm gonna, if I can get him in the duels, I will.
Sneak attack. Once a turn, you can deal an extra 5d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack with a finesse or ranged weapon. So it's not an unarmed strike.
No, that's grand, but I am still gonna, get him in the duels.
Now, the thing about it is that you are an assassin. Okay, that doesn't matter. That's only a... Okay, here's the thing. Assassinate. You advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. Any hit you score against that creature is... They're technically in combat, so that's not going to make a difference either.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, 4 points of damage into him. As you kind of kick out at his knees. I'm going to roll an acrobatics check on this guy to see if he stays up.
Okay? I will flavour it by saying, I think you need a lucky rabbit's foot. He ain't going like.
Now when's Darren using his D8?
I did to hit because I didn't think.
Okay, so this guy has got a +12 to acrobatics.
Jesus.
Why?
Good.
I rolled a natural
Why?
1. The DC was 15. He got 13.
Oh, lovely.
Seriously, I rolled it on D&D Beyond because I figured, you know what? It's got the +12 modifier. This can't go wrong for this guy. He's like a level. He's a level 10 rogue, and it's like 13. So you watch as Lopan kicks out with his two large rabbit feet, just kick out and catch this guy square in the happy sacks, and you just see him just like as the wind leaves his body, and he swings out, and he at the part of the tarp on the wagon that he's catching is swing of his blade goes wide and accidentally cuts the actual tarp he's holding onto, and he spills backwards, landing in between the two horses and into the dirt below, and you just hear oh, and a muffled groan and a crack as he disappears under the wagon and rolls and tumbles.
He fucking better with a crit fail like that.
Yeah, you just see.
Better.
I'm gonna. He's going to take. Oh fuck. Okay, he took a fair chunk of damage. So you hit him for 2 points of damage, D-Man.
And then what did the wagon do to him?
The wagon did 8 points of damage to him. So. Okay. You just hear muffled, and you can see then out the back of the wagon, he kind of careers and it's like a bowling ball into pins as his body tumbles into other mercenaries who are running after the wagon at full tilt, and you see him skid to a halt and kind of start to slowly pick himself up as the wagon, he starts to vanish off in the distance as the wagon is moving along. You then hear a muffled as the driver is pulled up out of their seat into the air. There's a sickening a snap, and you see blood splatter across the outside of the tarp, and the body, just the shadow of the body whizzing past the outside of the actual covered wagon. And then for about a split second, the wagon is moving at full tilt, no driver, and then in a blur you see, dressed in her frilly pink maid's gown, her matted blonde hair with dried blood all over it, a maid from Von Breck's house, who you saw get her throat slit, land into the wagon driver's seat, grab the reins, turn to you all, giving a grin and a smile, as you see that she no longer has her throat cut, but her mouth is filled with razor-sharp fangs, gore splattered all over her face. Black oval eyes stare at you. He's just grinning as she and the wagon just pulls off at full tilt. The merc's running after it. What are you all doing?
Can I roll Arcana to see if I recognize what happened to her?
Yeah, go ahead.
11.
You are looking at a daywalker.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
As in a vampire.
Yes. Am I? Oh shit.
Motherfucking blade, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Am I? Okay. Have I met one before?
Ooh. Give me a history check. See if Lopan has met one before.
Because I've been around. I've been around 16.
16. You have been in towns that you've heard many a tale of these creatures of the night, supposedly of the night. But here you are in late afternoon, creeping into dusk, and this creature is basically driving a wagon through the streets of Neverwinter.
Right.
And seemingly very happy about it as well, as her gore-covered face and big smile would attest to. But
And is it a malicious smile, or is it just a
she's
smile?
just smiling at you, but I mean, it's a face full of fangs, so you don't know.
So, yeah.
There's only so happy you can look.
Yeah.
I'm going to I just go up a little bit towards them, and I'm like, hey, thanks
And
for
she kind of just
all that.
she's like, oh, and you see her face slightly just morph back into still vampiric in form, but more humanesque. And she's like, it's no trouble they had it coming to them, really. And she just like matter of factly just keeps going on doing what she's doing. Von Breck asked me to bring you to the docks. That's where we're going now. And she just keeps yeah, and the horses are going full tilt through the streets.
Sure. Okay, this makes more sense. His look when we left didn't make sense to me. I thought he'd been turned by whatever, but he just knew that you were okay.
Oh,
that's
fine.
Great.
I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
I really didn't like what happened to you. That really bothered me.
Oh, in this line of work, it happens all the time.
Okay.
And you can hear the tone in her voice. It's betraying her age. Like when you first met her, she seemed like a young maid that was just ran the house for Von Breck and seemed a bit kind of like teenagery in her outlook. Like kind of like, oh. But now that you see what she's done and what has obviously been done to her, but to kind of the tone in her voice seems to be giving off a more measured, experienced vibe. Sure. And like the card is milling on. You do hear off in the distance about maybe a street over. You can hear the hustle and bustle as two mercenaries on horseback are still in pursuit. You can hear the clip clop on the cobbles, and as you look back, you see them rounding a corner as your wagon is going at full tilt.
Right. Should we think about dispatching our followers?
I don't have anything I can throw at them, but like I can at least try and get the lock open.
I do.
They didn't take me lockpicks.
Yeah, I take out my short bow.
Did they tell you to drop all of your weapons back at the house?
No, I took out one dagger and kicked it over to your man. I left everything else.
I don't think they would have let you keep all of your weapons.
Oh, it's not canon.
Well, thankfully, I am a weapon.
Yeah.
In more ways than one. So
My stuff. This is a delayed reaction, but I need my stuff. I need my shield. I turn to herself, and I'm like, "Hey, is there some way I could have my stuff brought to me?"
Oh, don't worry about that. Von Breck is bringing everything to the docks.
Oh, good. There's something in there that I need. You've noticed that when he started mentioning the shield, Gray did like bread hands, like it was twitchy. Gray was twitchy, but okay, good, okay, good, okay, good, okay, that's good, okay, thank you.
Zildar, what are you doing?
I'm gonna throw some magic missiles at second level, which means there's 3 darts.
Yeah.
3 darts. Hang on. 3 darts at first. What was the next one? Maybe there isn't.
How many second level spell slots have you used up to, is it?
I've used up 2.
This is your turn.
Oh, so I do get an additional dart at second level. Okay. So, yeah, because I've used that spell twice already. I'm going to throw some magic missiles, so it's 4 darts, so 2 each at the riders.
Cool. Okay, yeah, so you just stand at the back of the wagon and your hands just lash out and you just... The darts streak out down the street and careen into each of the bandits as they're on horseback. Give us the damage.
So 4 darts. There's 5 and 2 and 3 and 3. So one gets 7 damage and the other gets 6.
They impact on them. They manage to kind of grab onto the reins. I'm going to roll a contested strength roll to see if they don't get thrown by the horses. One stays on, one flies off. So the one kind of that's further at the back, the impact knocks him off. You see him tumble back off the saddle. His fellow bandit kind of looks back and it's like ah, and just kicks on. But you see he's hurt, and there's kind of arcane splashes of energy crackling up over his leather armor as one of his arms is hanging limp, but he's holding on with the rein, and the other one, his arm eventually comes back to life, and he draws his blade. He starts to gain ground on the actual back of the wagon. Okay, so the
one down, folks.
The wagon kind of turns a corner at a skid, and you can see that the young girl or the vampire is holding on to the front, and she's barely keeping on. She's like, you see her arms tense up, and you can notice now, Gray, because you're next to her, that the muscles in her arms just start to tense, and she is ripped underneath that outfit. Like,
okay,
she is really like, this is sinewy individual, but it's all muscle. And she kind of holds the horses as they skid around the corner, whinnying and neighing, and then she just kicks it back in again, and it heads off at full speed. You can start to smell the air change here as you're coming into one of the docklands of Neverwinter, and that kind of docklands air that you're kind of used to from Waterdeep, a bit more icy that you're further north, but you kind of realize you're now into the docklands. You also hear shouts from side alleys as you see a couple of more bodies appear up ahead that are on foot. They're looking out for the wagon, and they kind of see blades drawn. And you do catch one or two of them actually. Arcane energy fizzles off some of their fingers, as one or two of them kind of wait for the wagon to approach and then give chase as it rockets past everyone. You see passers-by and just general pedestrians leaping out of the way as like just debris and like the cobbles are getting ripped up as these horses are just plummeting straight through, not giving a damn for anything that's going on around them. It's pretty much all chaotic. What do the group want to do here at this point? You do have one guy on horseback that is very much close. He's coming into range of, like, he's not within attack range, but he's very much pulling up on the back of the wagon. And you've got a couple of more keeping up on foot.
Is he in armor, Wayne?
He's in kind of leather armor.
Ugh. Has he got a sword attached to him?
He's got a blade, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Is he within 60 feet of me?
He would be within 60 feet of you.
And he's on a GG.
He is, yeah. On a GG.
I am going to cast, I'm sorry in advance. I'm going to cast heat metal on the horse's bit.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Gigi, but you're in a criminal gang.
You've the wrong alignment, horsey.
Oh wow.
Yeah, look, you know, all in the game. I'm gonna cast heat metal. I'm so sorry.
This might be the turning point. He might, like, after this, rethink his life, going straight and narrow, you know.
I am going to cast heat metal on the horse's bit and hoping he will lose his or her or their entire shit and throw him off. Oof. Or run in the wrong direction, or yeah.
What level are you?
I'm hoping for booking.
What level are you?
Third, please.
Third level. This gets, so when you cast a spell using a spell slot of third level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8. So you've got 3d8 fire damage to the horse. Look up a horse's stats here for D&D.
I'm so sorry. I was gonna do the sword, and I'm like, you know what? No.
Okay. So roll your damage there of 3d8.
Let's do that then. Okay.
Yeah.
17.
Oh God.
My God.
Per glue.
In Dungeons and Dragons 5th Ed, riding horses' hit points are 13.
Anybody like horse steak for dinner?
You all watch, and some of you might watch in horror. I'm sure some of the viewers are, as Gray just reaches out their paws and you just see the bit in the horse's mouth, horse's mouth in turn, glow bright orange, and then the head just melts backwards. It just goes flesh to bone and just incinerates, and the heat just seems to, and the gore just flashes up onto the rider. It's like, as the head just melts away to a stump, and the horse's body careers into the ground. The rider vaulting off the back, and just he takes a fuck ton of damage. I rolled 3 4s, and he basically falls. His neck breaks, and his body just rolls limp on the ground. The sword clattering off to the side into a gutter as this massive horse meat and a dead mercenary bandit just falls to the ground, and the cart continues on, and Gray gets flashbacks now. Is now just like Gray, and I mean, Gray is a pretty kind of happy-go-lucky individual. So, yeah. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. I'm gonna turn to Gray and be like, nice.
I am going to grudgingly accept that because I don't know that I want Zill admiring too much of what I do. But yeah, I'm reminded of that Emily Dickinson line, and then a plank in reason broke. So yeah, so Gray is going to be a little quiet for a little while.
Gray is just
Lopan is just like, that's a new one. Like I thought I've seen a lot, but like interesting. Like
red rum.
I'm sure the horse deserved it. Like yeah.
So the bandits, like, who are on foot chasing, see this happen, and some of them just fucking stop, and they're just like, what the?
Yeah, you better.
But some of them like kind of like fuck and just keep running, and you pull up the wagon pulls up at a screech, and the horse is like, as you pull up onto the docklands, and you are all kind of like, she turned, like the girl turns to you, she's like, I think we better get off now and follow me. And she kind of jumps down and gestures for you all to follow her out the wagon. Oh, by the way, Captain Mingna as well, she's just like, again, she goes, yeah, and she just is like shaking her head at the whole horse thing as well, and dismounts and off the back of the wagon and follows it around. She goes, it's definitely been an interesting couple of days, and just continues to follow you into the docklands, where after zig and zagging in between a lot of dock workers, just passers-by, people unloading crates, loading up onto ships, you see at the far end of a jetty, you see Von Breck, and he is kind of gesturing for you to run forward. As you move in, he's like, well, that was unfortunate. I have chartered a ship to take us just basically out of the docks, out to sea for a bit, just like literally trip around the bay, to get the heat off us, really. A trick I've used before. They're not going to be able to fool us out here. I know some of the dock workers and anyone that comes in, you're looking for any ships chartered that match the description of that fuck, they're going to get turned away, impolitely turned away. So might I recommend we all embark and get the fuck.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I agree.
All of your effects and belongings are already on board.
Oh, thank you.
So you see, you get on, like, he gestures, and it's a decent sized ship, like a galleon type thing. It's not huge, actually, not a galleon. It's a medium sized kind of sailing vessel. A couple of masts, large sails, and the crew are quickly getting ready to kind of head out. And you're all up the gangplank and onto the deck. Mingna kind of actually, as she gets on the deck, you notice it kind of relaxes a bit, and like you have this just look across her face of familiarity, as she kind of like pats the railing on the boat. She stands on the starboard side, and she's like nodding, looking out onto the ocean, and absent-mindedly she puts her hand on the conch shell that's on her waist, and then looks to all of you, and then just kind of sits down on some barrels. All of your effects are there. All of your gear is kind of piled off in the corner as the crew are kind of milling back and forth, getting everything near them. The first mate is shouting orders, and the sails are pulled, and it's cast off, and out you go. And the boat slowly starts to pull out. And you're out. You've moved out a fair bit from the docks, and you look back, and you can see there standing, arguing with one of the dock hands, is Zarut, gesturing and pointing out towards the ship, brandishing a blade. And as he brandishes the blade, a couple of more dock hands surround him, some of them with clubs and
nice.
bilge hooks and nets, and they're all just looking at him going, really? And you can just see this off in the distance as it disappears, as the boat pulls out into the kind of the sea in the Bay of Neverwinter. Calm as you can be in this moment, as the chase has ended, kind of crazily, but it has ended, and you are now on this boat together. What are the group doing at this point?
I have gone straight over to the pile of possessions. I've gone to get my stuff, but the first thing I pick up is my shield, and I put it in my backpack. I'm trying not to think about what I just saw, and I'm gonna just lie low for a little.
Zil and Lopan, yeah.
Kim is going, fuck your magic missiles, set a horse on fire. But Gray is humble.
So.
I have found a quiet spot in a corner on deck, because Drow don't sleep, they meditate. So I'm going to try and meditate and recover a little bit because I used a lot of magic. So.
Does that mean wanking?
No, that's when you have quiet time.
Oh, okay.
Quiet time. So yeah, I suppose will there be an opportunity to take any kind of
oh yeah, there
rest?
will be. You'll have time at this point, but just Von Breck is kind of looking around. Is like, so who has it? Did you just find it? I mean, we got a bit sidetracked and everything, but the item I sent you to find, the answer, well, at least part of the answer to your riddle of your arcane symbols.
I know one of us took it.
Yeah, we got it right.
Gray actually has it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got it. It's here.
The captain has very kindly given us some quarters to go do our business. So, if you aren't too busy right now, and you would like some answers, could you follow me, please?
Sure.
I mean, you've all obviously been through a lot. I mean, if you want to take some time, I don't mind. I've chartered this ship for about a day. Maybe I could go longer if needs be, but we'll be pulling back into port. We might go to one of the further ones. In Neverwinter, we might not go into the main dock, but we have time.
Yeah. I don't know that taking a short trip and immediately going back is going to get the heat off us that much, but I suppose we can't stay up here forever.
So, you want to follow, and what do the group want to do at this point? It's up to yourselves whether you want to go in and look at some stuff straight away, or just want to what do you want to do?
We'll go with him, will we, guys?
I'll just get me
I think so.
first. Go over and pick up my gear. And then, you find out stuff is probably good, and while he's talking, he'll give us a few to kind of think what to do next.
Von Breck kind of gestures you all into not a cramped cabin, but one of the bigger cabins on the ship. It's furnished sparsely. A few shelves here and there, some tables that are bolted down to keep them from swaying. There's some rations and you know, food and drink brought in, and you're kind of given privacy. And Von Breck unrolls parchment and quill and some ink, some wax, different colours of wax. You see a few notebooks with arcane symbols on them. He's like, right. If you could kindly give me the contraption.
I'm gonna hand it over.
So he takes the device and he goes like, whoa. It really is a beautiful piece of workmanship. I mean, it's... And he's baffled. Like, you see this kind of look of awe on his face as he's kind of twirling the lenses and moving some of the kind of appendages in and out. And it is beautiful now that you see it in this light, outside of the gloom of the shard of night. It seems to be like cylinder upon cylinder layered atop of each other within a large kind of golden frame. On each side of the frame, there are arcane symbols very similar to what you are seeing on Zilzara's body and Mingna's body. The kind of the apertures on the side, the lenses, they can be moved in and out. They seem to zoom. And there's lenses that can flick out in front of each of the main ocular sections. The arms also have attachments on them, and they seem to kind of go around behind the ears and then wrap around the back. And he kind of gingerly holds them up to his face and then slowly but surely places them on, and then starts to kind of adjust. And as he adjusts them, you see that there's a slight green glow in the arcane symbols on the arms that kind of are now wrapped around his head. You see him adjust the lenses and kind of switch things around, and he's like, right, well, if one of you could kindly just show me sections of what you have. And Mingna kind of is like shrugs and undoes kind of the top button, and you see her kind of her shoulders, and he kind of twists, and you see as they kind of zoom slightly on her, and the arcane symbols glow a bit again, and he then starts to make notes. I'll be interesting. He kind of grumbles to himself a bit and says this a few times as he's constantly changing the lenses and moving things around, and starts making loads of notes. About half an hour passes by, and he's like just nodding and kind of writing those, and he now has about 3 or 4 pages of parchment that he's written on with information and detail. He kind of takes the things off and places them on the table. He's like, right, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation, I suppose. These markings, they are, for better words, they all seem to be coordinates. And he gestures over. There's a pile of like sea charts and different things along walls here, and like a sea chart, like you're guiding somebody. And I mean, the captain here, her ones are slightly different to yours. And he gestures at Zilzara, and on their own, they don't really make a lot of sense. The good news is, together, they make more sense.
Oh man.
They're like a piece of a puzzle. You don't have the full puzzle here. And Minna kind of nods, and if you remember back to when she was telling you about
her friend,
the groups, they kind of had to fight off 2 individuals from a group of these individuals that were seemingly covered in these things. There's an old kind of myth about these creatures, and they each are adorned with these symbols. And as he's explaining this, kind of clicks that they all make up a bigger picture. And you see him, like, as he's drawn, you see the parchments as he holds them up and he starts pointing things out, and you see it's like part of a map, but not a full map. It's like there's one corner of it that takes it up, and then there's all these notes beside it. It's like, now the thing about it is that these symbols, They're not on any known map here that I've ever seen. They're not of this realm, of this plane. They're of somewhere else. But it does speak of a path, a gateway, and it's kind of fuzzy at this bit. It talks about magics. It talks about someone, but it doesn't detail who. I'm missing that part. But for what I can tell, you two together make up a part of what this is. And in order to get rid of it, you're going to have to find the other parts. And he kind of slides the papers across the table, kind of points at different sections, and he kind of fills you in on like basically everything about it, like what they mean as far as sections of a map is concerned. But that's pretty much what they are.
So I'm going to turn to Ming-Na and say, so how do we find the rest of these pieces?
She seems to be kind of thinking to herself, and she's kind of just slightly shaking her head. I honestly don't know. You see, it's all part of a myth. It's not... Clearly it's real, but the information is so patchy. I don't have the answers for this. She's kind of thinking to herself and looking at the pieces of paper on the table. I mean, I might be able to find somebody who could. 2 people actually spring to mind. But without my ship, I'm stuck here. We're stuck here. I haven't heard from my first mate Carabash, and it has been 2 days. Tell me, Von Breck, do you have any way of contacting individuals on another plane directly? And Von Breck kind of like looks at her. He's like, there are ways, but I don't know them myself. I'd have to research it. We've got 2 days to figure it out on sea. Nobody's going to come find us out here. I can ask them to sail a bit further out and take a few trips around some of the smaller islands, confuse anyone that might come after us, but they're not going to come after us. So we'll do that. We have 2 days, maybe more if we need it, to figure out a way of finding where your ship is. And if you want to leave and go looking for this, I have to ask, can I go? And he kind of looks at the group expectantly.
What do you think, Ming-Na? I mean, you're a net positive, but how did you know they were all gonna, at what stage while we were in the shard did they come into you and surround you?
Oh, well, the maid here, she answered the door. It was about... time is a weird thing for me. I was deep in concentration and study of what I already had. And she kind of pipes up at the back of the room. You see her sitting there, kind of leaning in one of those alcove or window of a large ship. And she kind of like feet up towards her chest, and she just looks over. You were gone about an hour. And then they knocked in, and one of them said he had credentials for one of the guards' watches, and that he was investigating a group of thieves, and gave your description. I didn't know you, so I brought that one, the thin one. I brought him in. He brought 2 of his fellow gods. And then the next thing I know, I was in the kitchen making food, and the next thing I know, I heard a scream from upstairs. I didn't scream. It was a bellowed. He made a noise, and there was more of them. They had made their way in. They broke in. I don't know how. They seem to be very stealthy about their ways.
I've heard those like when they flash the papers, you know, like you kind of like expect that, you know, like the papers are being shown are real, but like they're easily forged, you know. I mean, so like I've heard like.
Yes.
Well, those bragging bastards would be a stealthy lot.
And the kind of it dawns on Von Breck. He's like, "Oh, look, I mean, I'm offering my services, is what I'm saying. I mean, Captain, I know where you travel to. I know the people you keep. We've worked before together. I'm happy to waive any fees. I'm just curious here. And Maid here, she'll." And you kind of get the feeling as he keeps saying that is actually her name. She's just called Maid.
Oh, wow.
She and you kind of look over. She looks very uncomfortable at this point because and if anyone wants to roll me an Arcana check,
I will.
Yeah, you can.
8.
8. You're trying to remember back about vampires, but you do remember some small thing about them being uneasy on moving water.
Ah, yes.
She kind of was just like, I'll go wherever he goes.
Well, pretty little fangs over here is handy in a fight.
He kind of perks up at that a little bit of a smile.
And
that's definitely true.
Von Breck, I think we could definitely use your assistance. You've been helpful so far. What do you think, Mingna?
She kind of nods. Von Brecht is very good in a pinch. He's very knowledgeable. It's one of the reasons why we went to him, I suppose. Look, you know how I run my ship. If and when we find it. And you and Karabash have to try and get on this time. But it's a tight ship, not premium lodgings, and she kind of looks around the room you're in now. But yes, I suppose you could come. Yes, you can come. You can come. We just have to find them first. They have to be out there somewhere.
Well, then we need to utilize this time on the water to try and find them.
I just want to double check. Like, I don't have to say, like, can I come too? It's a given that, like, I'm in and we're all going, right? Just because nothing's been said, so I just want to make sure.
Well, I have to go, and I'm hardly going to leave you and Gray behind.
Deadly. I just was like, just wanted to make sure because I yous are going, I'm going, but I just didn't know if I had to because he spoke up. So I kind of felt like, is this one of these things where everyone has to speak up, or is it just known, like, So well, now this is getting more awkward. So I'll just
You're good, Lopan.
Deadly.
So, with that decision made, the group have 2 to 3 days on the water. You obviously get a long rest.
Yeah, let's.
Yes.
And you can, discuss amongst yourselves now. What do you want to do in these 2 to 3 days? Is there anything you want to achieve? Besides, obviously, it's locating Mingna's ship. Is there anything as a group you want to discuss? Anything you want to talk about? Kind of plan for?
Ooh.
I think we need a strategy if we come up against those shadowy ghouly fucks again.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't have a clue what the hell they were. Do you guys know? Like,
no, Lopan, do you have any magical items?
I was born in the Feywild, so technically I'm magical. Maybe does that work?
Yeah. Do you have any weapons that are good against creatures that aren't alive?
Well, anything I've come up against so far, like me light crossbows have worked. like I didn't get a chance, but I would have taken he points to his big, huge, heavy crossbow on his back. It's like I would have used old Betsy here, like, you know, but just didn't get a chance. My ears kept on hurting on me. Which reminds me, I need to get some kind of, maybe if we ever see those things again, maybe some earplugs. Or like wax from a candle or something, I don't know. Like that might be something if we ever, or we just never go to that place again and then we don't have to deal with it, you know?
Well, that's true. But I think, I mean, every time something happens where I realize I'm under armed for that situation, it gives me a chance to reconfigure. But I'm going to look over what I know and what I need to know and see if I can make myself more well-rounded.
I'm kind of like a little bit embarrassed because, you know, like I know, you know, usually people of my profession and, you know, when they do bump into people and have their stuff taken off them, they usually have something concealed. And I don't have anything like that on me person, so that's definitely something I need to get. But that's for another time.
Yeah.
While we're on the boat, I recently required this, and I showed him the telescope. So I'm gonna volunteer being in the. I know it's called a crow's nest, but if I go up there, is it called a Lopan nest or a rabbit nest, or is it still just like crow nest? I never see any crows when I'm up there. But anyway, I'm going to be up. I'm speaking out loud more than anything else. I'll be, you know, be up there watching unless you need me.
Yeah, I'll come with you, Lopan. I think we could both jump down fairly easily if we had to.
Well, like, then we'll get we'll lay the land, lay the sea, lay the water. We'll see him coming anyway.
Right. So you two are on watch.
Yeah, we're going up in the sky bucket.
I can rest my head anywhere, and like this isn't me first time on a boat, so like I'll be spend a bit of my childhood on one of them. When I was really tiny, I was only like this big, and go like halfway down, so like maybe a foot and a half. It's like
Are you using the spyglass when you're up there?
Oh yeah, totally. Like it's a telescope, isn't it? Kind of like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will help me kind of see things from afar. So that's one of the reasons why when I seen it, I said that could come in handy on watch. You know.
The first time you use it, you kind of pull it up to your eye. You kind of start peering out. You notice a dot off in the distance. You just wanted to see if you could see it. You put your eye up to the spyglass, and as you look at the dot in the distance, all of a sudden you see a large shipping vessel. You think it's about 1,000 feet away. Like it's all of a sudden right up on you. You're like, whoa! You're kind of jump back yeah. And you're like, oh! And you take it down from your eye and you look, and the dot is still like thousands of feet away. And you're looking at this spyglass, and you've seen spyglasses over your travels. And usually it's like, something is about 100 feet away. It brings it maybe to 60 feet away. But this thing seems to have brought something. You can now see something that's like thousands of feet away, and all of a sudden they're way closer. And you're looking down at this thing in your hand going, what the fuck?
Oh, great. This is Whopper. You got it. This like, oh my God, it's like you're right there. Look. And I'll hand it to Greg to have a look.
Yeah, I'm going to have a look through it. And try and forget the trauma I went through at college calculating astronomical telescope magnification. But hey, yeah. Oh my God. And I keep taking it away, putting it up, taking it away, putting it up. Oh yeah, that's crazy. I give it back to Lopan.
And I start looking again. And then Wayne, when Gray is kind of looking off to the, into the sea, I get, because I'm remembering something I used to do back in the day, and take out a little bit of black dirt, and I kind of on the thing. It's like, oh man, Gray, look over there, like that's deadly.
It depends which my dominant eye is, because Gray has heterochromia, so he's black on one side and orange on the other. So if his right side is dominant and he puts it up on the black side, no prank. If the right side, if he puts it up on the left eye, you got yourself a prank. But I'd have to consult my literature.
we went from exploding horse heads to like 5-year-old pranks on telescopes.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think Gray as an artist is right-brained, so left-eyed, so prank confirmed.
Yeah.
We have a prank on our hands, bros.
You see the thing, the black ring come up around Gray's eye, and it's like,
I keep a straight face for a couple of seconds, and I just start laughing, and I was like, I got you good.
I'm not even gonna wait. You're not even gonna wait for someone else to notice it. No, it's enough that you know.
No, he's not even gonna wait for you two to come all the way back down and run into us, because we're obviously not seeing these hijinks because you're up at the crow's nest.
Okay, he's not playing the long game. Okay.
Lopan wouldn't play the long game.
He's too excitable.
Okay.
He's an excitable boy. They all said.
Dildara, while those two buffoons are up there doing that, what are you doing?
So I'm still hanging out with Von Breck and Mingna. So where do we go from here?
Mingna kind of they're looking at charts again and the notes that you have, and she has the conch shell communicator thing on the table, and she's kind of gesturing towards it and talking between yourself and Von Brecht. This allows me to contact my first mate, Carabash. He has the corresponding. It's like a sending stone of sorts, but it's enchanted in a way, so we can have a two-way conversation. But I've been speaking into this non-stop for the last 3 days now, and nothing. This is generally how we would communicate. And she kind of looks at Von Brecht pleadingly. Is there anything you can do? Boost signal? Because Zil, can you do something?
Yeah, I might be able to do something. So I'm gonna reach into my cloak and pull out my crystal.
Yep.
So I have a purple amethysty style crystal.
Yep.
That I can use for arcane focus. It was gifted to me by my mother, who is no longer with us. Can I boost the signal essentially by focusing my magic through this crystal?
So, say you kind of take the shell and you place it on the ground on the kind of the rolling deck in front of you, and the sea is quite calm at this point as you're kind of sailed out now a bit. You're out to the ocean, but it's calm. So you're on the deck. You've got the conch shell in front of you, and you take out the focusing crystal, and you sit cross-legged with the shell in front of you. You start to focus. You kind of reach out your senses towards this item, focusing through the arcane crystal. Can you give me an Arcana check?
Roll a physical one, see if this works. Ooh, 22.
Wow.
I rolled a 17 plus 5.
Nice. You're so used to it's like second nature with using this crystal to focus through. Your energies join, and you reach out with your mind towards this item and instantly connect with it. And you feel the connection reach out and up. It's like you're zooming through the sky yourself in your mind, and you feel where the connection goes. Up into the atmosphere, out. You see, in your head, you see dark skies, stars. And then it's kind of strange. The signal seems to get distorted in a way, and twisted and bent, and goes off in all different directions, like it's refracting off different things. It's like it's hit a prism and it's gone off in different directions.
Okay.
And it's a good bit off. And you do sense a connection on the other end, but it seems to be out of sync with the device. Like the signal went, dispersed, and it's like taking its time to return.
Okay.
And that's what you're sensing through it. With that high of a roll, that's what you're sensing.
Okay, I'm going to relay that back to Mingna and Von Breck.
Okay.
So there's some sort of invisible barrier that's dispersing our signal and making it more difficult to contact people at the other end. Yeah.
So it's like the signal has gone out, but it's taking too long for it to actually hit the receiver on the other end. It has left. There seems to be something blocking it. Mingna kind of frowns and picks up the shell and hooks it back onto her belt. Well, I mean, my ship, Silver Spear, it travels through planes, and it can move through realms, and maybe they just, like, we were pulled into that gateway. You saw.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they ended up in some familiar faith, and they ended up in some other dimension, and message can't reach them.
Has anything like this happened before?
Once, but it was because Karabash left a shell behind in some cave. We had to go back and retrieve it. He's very forgetful. So you're saying, and she kind of like scratches her chin a bit, the signal has left, but it's taking extra time to get there. So they will get the message eventually.
Yeah, from what I can tell, they will.
Hey. That's something, I suppose. Well, it's partially an answer, I guess. She kind of nods and kind of accepting what that is. Hopefully he answers soon.
I think we should keep trying periodically while we're out on the water. I can do what I can to help the signal boost if that means that they will pick it up sooner despite the interference.
Von Breck kind of nods approvingly. It's a really good idea, actually. Boosting the signal, yeah. I mean, it's not something within my abilities, but if you can do it, that's fantastic.
Well, we've tried it now, so how often do you think we should do it? Should it be like a beacon every hour? Should we, Von Breck, you mentioned we're out on the water now for 2 days, so we can do this as often as I can, to help get your ship back here.
I mean, it won't hurt to give it a try as often as we can. I'd say rest for now, and we try later on this evening. And I can try and kind of give some energy to it as well. Maybe together we can push through and get a signal out there.
Yeah, maybe Gray wouldn't mind helping some inspiration too when he gets down later.
All right.
All hands on deck and all that.
Well, I'm going to go get some food. I'll rest up and conserve my energy and maybe give this a little thought. So, if you'll excuse me, ladies, and he kind of buggers off to the galley looking for some food. Is there anything else the group want to do at this point?
I'm going to get some rest and get some of my my hit points back.
Okay, well, everyone would have had a long rest the day before, so you definitely have all had your long rest.
Cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not wiping off this just yet because I think Lopan, despite the fact he can't hold his piss, I think he should probably get a little bit more credit than he's getting.
Well,
So I'm going to leave it there to be nice.
Okay. The day moves on and it's into evening time, and Umbrek has returned, a bit more well fed, a little less hangry, carrying a tankard of ale as he kind of sways on the deck, and half from the ale, half from the water. And he's like, right, I mean, I think it's now a time like the present, nice clear night like this, stars, moons, the works. So I'm going to draw up a little meditation circle here on the deck. And the crew are giving you all a wide berth at this stage. They're kind of not really paying much attention to you, letting you get about your business, because it's a leisurely sail to them. It's a very quick job. They're getting paid good coin for this, so they're not really too bothered. They're letting you do what you want to do. And you see Von Breck kind of draws a couple of arcane symbols on the deck using chalk. And you recognize most of them. They're pretty straightforward, emboldening spells that kind of boost arcane energies. Kind of like, boosting your chakra type shit. And he kind of gestures anyone that wants to be involved in this to kind of sit around in a circular fashion. Pops the conch shell in the center. So, who wants in on this?
Can we help?
Well, you can't. So, because
you're not magic.
You're not a magic user. Neither can Ming-Na. Well, Ming-Na's got a bit of magic, but she's not technically a magic user. Oh.
Lopan is going to stay in the crow's nest then and keep an eye out, and he'll by this stage now forgotten about his practical joke, and he's using the telescope, changing it from light to light. And when he comes down, he will have two of similar matching eyes, considering he's away from the bunny rabbit.
Oh my god!
But he's keeping an eye on them and keeping an eye around just to, it'd be a bad while they're doing this. It might be a bad thing if we got attacked. So they'll keep an eye out for that. At least do something.
So
I'm gonna call Gray down.
Okay, down I come.
So you.
Gray.
Yeah.
Did you do something to your eye?
Oh, this? Do you like it? It was a prank.
Lopan, bless.
Yeah, Lopan. Okay, I'm gonna rub it off now.
Ming-Na's yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna, because obviously Gray wasn't here for the conversation, and I presume he couldn't hear us earlier. So, Gray, we're gonna need some of your assistance and inspiration. We're gonna try and boost the signal from Ming-Na's communication shell and see if we can get in touch with her ship.
Sure, yeah.
So Ming-Na has a bit of magic, but not to the level that you folks have. But she's going to try and help all the same, just by meditating.
Sure.
So the four of you sit in a circular fashion, conch shell in the center of you all, and the way we're going to do is we're going to do rolls on this. So
sure.
I'm going to get everyone to give me a couple of Arcana checks. So the first round, you're going to basically try and push the signal through, and see if it can push it out into the ether. So if everyone can give me an Arcana check. I'll roll for the other two.
9.
24.
I is an 18. So both Zilzara and Von Breck immediately connect, and you feel the surge of energy, whereas Gray and Ming-Na, you just can't they're focusing, they just can't seem to push through it. And the conch shell it just vibrates slightly on the deck. You see it just hop back and forth on two of its prongs. And there's a kind of a whirring sound. But you can feel it, Zildara. It doesn't fully push through, but there's definitely movement there. And you can feel whatever the barrier is that's keeping this signal from reaching the other side, it's starting to crack slightly. So another round of Arcana. You know what?
Oh, I don't like when Wayne goes, do you know what?
That's 21.
Yeah, we'll do it with the Arcana this time. Yeah, no, they both rolled really high that time. That was an 18 and a 12. Yeah, so they pushed through. Gray, what you get?
7.
7. Gray, you're still trying to focus. Bit of black dirt still in your eye. You're rubbing it out. You're trying to focus, and you can't really fully. But then with Ming-Na, it kind of clicks as she focuses in on the shell, and you feel the signal push more up into the ether, out into the kind of the atmosphere, and you can feel the Flostajon around you, the stars, the void. It's just there. And you can see where the fractioning of the signal is, and the beams of light that are going off in different directions, weaker than the initial signal. And they start to focus in. You see them starting to kind of move in from the fan motion that they're all in, concentrating slightly into more focused beam. I'm gonna do one more roll just to see how we all do. See if you can all make one last push.
Okay.
That's the exact same roll, but for the other way around.
15.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So Grey joins the fray. You feel Grey's mind all of a sudden join the trio. The four minds push together. The beam focuses, and in one last push, it just amalgamates into one long beam of energy. You see it disappear off into the void. And then there's silence. The four of you come to sitting on the deck. And then after about a minute or so, you can just see the crashing of the waves up against the side of the ship. Then Lopan just proclaiming, "Jesus, that's really far away," from up in the crow's nest. And then a muffled voice starts to break through on the conch shell, ever so slightly, and then louder. "Captain, are you there? Captain!" And Ming-Na kind of rushes forward and grabs the shell and brings it up. "Carabash, it's me. Carabash, can you hear me?" "I can hear you, Captain." And she kind of like breathes a sigh of relief and kind of rocks back. We got through. And she just starts to relay quickly and to the point information down into the shell. And you can hear every now and again, you hear the odd grunt and after about a 5-minute conversation, "We are on our way. We're in Neverwinter." And you can just hear in a kind of an echo of Carabash barking orders to a crew. And, "Captain, hold tight. Stay on the ship. Do not put into dock. We'll come straight to you. We'll be there as soon as we can." And she kind of like, you can see that she's relieved. There's like a sense of weight lifted off her shoulders that she finally got through. And she kind of looks up and she goes, "They're coming. They're coming. Oh, they're coming." And she kind of hooks the conch shell back on to her belt and kind of rocks back. "Oh, we will get answers. I promise you all. We will get answers. I think I need a drink." And she kind
Yeah, Van Breck, was there any wine in that galley?
Yeah, I saw ale.
They've got ale. And he kind of gets up and starts waddling off towards the galley. Come
Are
on.
you Swedish? Were you going to tell us about that?
Jesus Christ. Topical. And the group of you make your way down into the galley and you fill glasses with ale, toasting that you pushed through on the signal to get through to the Silver Spear, Captain Ming-Na's ship. And off in the void, somewhere, this large, platinum-plated space barge is pushing its way through the void towards you. Standing on its... What's the front of a ship again? Jesus, Wayne. It's fucking...
Bow.
The bow of the ship. Standing on the bow of the ship. His hand on the scabbard of his blade. A large half-orc male staring off into the distance towards Neverwinter. Towards Faerun. The Silver Spear is making its way to you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session of Sorcery and Shenanigans. don't forget to enter into our giveaway for this copy of the Mighty Nine Critical Role Origins book of Jester Lavore. The question is, who plays Jester on Critical Role? But the answer in the comment section below. Share the
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Share the video on social media tagging Irish Pubcast. Make sure you do that, and you will be in for a chance to win that. Congratulations to Fred Fletch once again for winning this copy of Rat Queens. We'll contact you through social media. Get your
Speaking
details.
of a giant platinum space barge.
Folks, that has been your episode of Sorcery Shenanigans. Thank you to the players. Fair play to you. A bit more action heavy at the start and a bit more contemplative.
Thanks to our DM for an awesome game.
Thank you, Wayne.
Until the next time, folks, stay safe, look after each other, take it handy. Bye-bye.
Bye.